Welcome to Amateur Hour. We made it.
Yes.
We made it. Good job, everybody.
Pat ourselves in the back.
You can't reach me, but
Yeah.
I feel it. Though.
Just you feel the spirit. Okay.
This is Amateur Hour. I am Vinny. To my right is Chris.
I'm Mario.
I'm Dakota.
And we are here. Real quick, Dakota, how many hours did you dock in D&D?
None.
Mario?
Oh, 0.
Chris?
I've never played this game before.
0. All of us.
I would say we're negative. That's how.
Probably.
It's probably negative.
accurate.
Negative hours.
Probably accurate. None of us have ever played D&D, but we've heard about it. We saw it various means.
Yep.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Social media, YouTube, everything.
Justice for Bob.
And so we kind of Justice for Bob. We kind of just figured, hey, let's give it a go.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so here we are.
Yep.
We're ready to get this thing going. Before we actually start, I'm the Dungeon Master. These are the heroes of the campaign. Possibly more to be added as time goes on. But before we start, I want to give everyone a quick rundown on the campaign, the world, and all that fun stuff. And then when I'm done, you are going to go one by one and give just a quick background on your character, what you chose, all kind of stuff. So you ready to jump in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this.
All right. So let me just pull up my PDF file.
File PDF.
File PDF.
File PDF.
Where is it over here? Okay. All right. So a lot of things are going to be a little bit different. It's not real D&D. It's you know, we're amateurs. If you haven't noticed that by now, we don't plan. Yeah, we are. We don't plan on doing this 100% right. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh, that's not real D&D.
Yeah.
Well, shut up.
Oh my god.
It's not. We're just having fun. We're just a bunch of guys having fun.
Pretty much.
But so the world that we're going to be playing within is Elarath, and Elarath is mainly built on 3 main continents. You have Arca, which is the largest continent. That's where our campaign is going to be taking place. Then you have North, another continent, Eliquan, and then you have a mysterious 3rd continent. Now there are other plots of land in the world, but nothing near those sizes. So to briefly explain Arca, that is mainly, it has basically every race in Arca. Is a melting pot of all these different races, but the dominant race is humans, and the ruling race is humans. You have 3 main human kingdoms. You have Fortdale, which is the northern kingdom. It is the strongest, kingdom. But then you have Lanson, and the last kingdom is actually an empire, because the Empire of Mulian.
Empire moving.
Yeah, which we didn't talk about. A lot of this is going to be a little new to you guys, but to keep it brief, because we're not here to talk about the history, we're kind of current events, where we're standing right now, what the campaign is going to be about, what you guys are jumping into. So to be brief, the Kingdom of Fortdale is one of the 3 human kingdoms. The king of Fortdale is King Raven.
Raven.
Yes, and Queen Cilia. And they have one heir to the throne, Prince Jaynin.
Jaynin Smith.
Yeah, Jaynin. The thing that separates this kingdom from the others is it's over 700 years old, and it's been established like King Raven is in a long lineage of kings. Like the king has an heir, and then he becomes king.
So they're all blood.
They're all bloodline kings. So that's an important distinction. They also have the largest army. Their army is called the Glory of Fortdale, or the Glory for short, and they are the most skilled at fighting in battle. It is important to know that in Fortdale, magic is outlawed. If you live in the province of Fortdale, all magic of any kind is a criminal activity. And this is because, and this is like one main event that took place, the Hellfire War. 20 years ago, and I'm not going to go too far in the past, but 20 years ago, there was a necromancer who brought in an army of undead skeletal warriors and all these dragonborn and tieflings. They all kind of invaded Arca, and they destroyed a lot of cities and towns on the way. They were defeated, but because of that event, magic was deemed, dangerous, and so magic is outlawed in all Fort Dale.
How many years ago?
The war was
Hellfire?
20 years ago.
20
Yeah,
years.
20 years ago. And I'll go a little bit more into depth with that. But the four main cities within Fort Dale are Mulat, Pygot, Norib, and Leon. They have governors and which you guys will be introduced at some point in the campaign. But those are the four biggest cities. Think of, size-wise, put into perspective, Fort Dale is like a little bit bigger than New Mexico.
Okay.
So there's four major cities within that border. So
Okay.
there's a lot of towns, there's a lot of settlements, but there's four of those big cities. Excuse me. The next kingdom is Lanson, and the king of Lanson was King Brefrum. It's Brefrum. King Brefrum died 2 years ago, just recently, and it was very short notice. He was healthy, but after the Hellfire War, something happened to him. No one really knows how or why he died. But what's important to know right now is this kingdom is now principalities. His son rules, and his son is Prince Elynor, Elynor, and he was kind of just shifted into this position, and with his mother, the queen, Wilsma.
And he's now king.
He's still prince.
Still
'cause-
prince.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
principality.
Okay.
But he's, with his mom, the queen, is kind of ruling over this kingdom.
Gotcha.
The other thing that's important to note, two other things with Lanson, they were hit the hardest during the Hellfire War. So there's just straight cities that are ash and rubble.
Okay.
There's towns that are still, rebuilding from 20 years ago. They were hit the hardest. And the last thing is there's two major cities within that kingdom. So it's smaller, and it's about 500 years old in comparison to the 700 years. So it's a newer kingdom in that regard. And the last kingdom is the Mulian Empire. This is by far the oldest. This was the original way that the humans were brought to power in Arca. This is over 1,000-year-old empire. And all the emperors were pretty much got progressively worse. More greed, more, all that kind of stuff. The current emperor is actually an empress, Glavia. She rose to power by assassinating, basically, the current emperor, who was the worst of them all. He was very maniacal, very, greedy. He was just, and you can figure all this kind of stuff out as we go on the campaign.
Kind of like the new Sun King in Horizon. He killed his dad.
Yeah, kind of like
Okay.
kind of like that.
What was her name again? I'm sorry.
Glavia.
Gladia?
Glavia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gladia, I'm sorry.
Glavia. And there's no major cities in the empire. They're just a lot of towns, and they're also the largest province.
What are the cities in Lanson?
The two major cities is Rowan and Taup, Taop.
With just so we know.
Yeah, what's up?
So what cities are in the continents again? It's the continents we have, the three.
Yeah, the three continents. So Arca. We're just been talking about Arca right now. So the major,
Okay.
yeah. So in Fort Dale is the kingdom. Lanson is another kingdom, and then the Mulian Empire. So those are the ruling factions in this continent. But there are many other than humans. You have the dwarfs, which we have, dwarf here. We'll get into your character. Their current status within this world is majority of them, most of them, if not all of them, are traveling nomads. They have many family clans, but all of them basically do something very similar. So the brief history is, in ancient times, they were the superpower. They built this extremely advanced technology. And this is before, way before anyone can even remember. But they built this very advanced technology, and it was actually that technology that brought their own demise. Somehow, you guys can uncover all of this throughout the campaign, if you so choose. So currently, flash forward, many, many years, they're traveling nomads, and there's three pacts that all the family clans swear into. You have the Arbadir pacts, pact. That's Arbordir, Arbordir, and they basically make an oath to protect. So they are the armor crafters. They craft armors. They again travel from city to town to settlement, and they craft armor and then sell it for gold to make money as traveling merchants. But they specialize in armor, and this is the armor that is like the highest class armor. They, even like elves would, be humbled by the craftsmanship of these Arbordir dwarfs. Some of them, if you come across them, might have enchanted armor, things that are like really powerful for a lot of gold. And so that's the Arbordir.
Or we can kill.
Or you can kill and take the armor
Those are my
whatever.
people.
Chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil.
Then there's the Wendcrift pact, and this is very similar, but instead of armor, they craft weapons, and it's basically the same concept. They travel and they sell their weapons and all that kind of stuff. Then you have the Gat-Hearth pact, which is the third and last pact that they swear into, and that's the hunting-gathering kind of pact, where they find the materials to craft weapons and armor, and they go around to sell them to their dwarves. So the other two pacts. Excuse me.
So awesome.
And then the last bit of information with dwarfs is there are a certain branch of dwarfs that are exiled. They're known as the Dark Dwarfs. The pact that they're officially called to is called the Entek, but Dark Dwarf is what most people refer to them as. But the Entek pact is basically they swear an oath to rediscover and uncover and unearth the ancient technology of their past. And so they try to repurpose it and reuse it to restore their race back to where it formerly was. The problem is most of the dwarfs realize and understand that that's what destroyed their race. So they look at the Entek dwarfs or the Dark Dwarfs as bad, as evil, like you're going to destroy the little that we have. Again,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And so that's kind of the state of the dwarfs. Then there's the gnome colonies. Then you have Dragonborn, Tiefling, Half-Orcs. I'm trying to figure out what's necessary to say to start the campaign and what we can leave out. Since we have the Dragonborn in our party, we're going to touch on that a little bit. Dragonborn, out of all the races, Dragonborn, Tiefling, and Half-Orcs, they're the newest additions to Arca. They were only introduced into this continent 20 years ago during the Hellfire War. There were, as far as the humans go, as far as the Arcan inhabitants go, there was no such thing as Dragonborn. That was unheard of, that was unseen. What happened was, as the Necromancer led this army of undead, the captains of this undead army happened to be Dragonborn, Tieflings, and Half-Orcs. And so they're all leading these armies, these hordes of undead. But that was 20 years ago. So since then, the state of Dragonborn, Tiefling, and Half-Orcs has changed a bit. Since then, after interrogation, after the ones who were left stranded on Arca were found, hunted, killed, interrogated, all that kind of stuff, their interrogators realized that the Dragonborn had absolutely no memory of the entire war. They could remember their entire past, they could remember the house that they grew up in, or the place that they lived, even though it's so drastically different from Arca. They can remember all of that, they just can't remember the Hellfire War. They have no recollection of that. So, in a sense, they all have a similar last memory. The last memory that they have is a mysterious figure, a cloaked figure, reaching out their hand to them, and then they wake up in Arca. And that's the gap that they kind of work with all the Dragonborn on Arca.
A cloaked figure reaching out their hand?
Yeah, reached out their hand in their direction, and then they just woke up in Arca, and they'd be hunted and tortured and interrogated. And so the current state is they're not trusted. As far as humans are concerned, Dragonborns are not liked and not trusted, but there's a mutual understanding because the Dragonborn as a whole, there's exceptions to every rule, but as a whole, Dragonborn seek to discover what happened, like the humans do. So they kind of work together to kind of uncover what happened. Can this be prevented, or is the threat really neutralized?
So do all Dragonborns kind of stick together because they understand? So
they
it's pretty
tend
much
to-
every single one though. There's not one that was like.
Oh no, they're
It's
again. I'm
every
saying
single-
I'm talking about general. They could always be one that
Gotcha, okay.
doesn't fit a mold or whatever.
Cool.
But generally speaking, the state of Dragonborn are that, and
Right.
so they're not really hunted anymore. They're not really trusted, but a lot of them do try to rebuild the cities that they didn't even know that they destroyed and all that kind of stuff. So since we don't have tieflings or half-orcs in the campaign right now, I won't really touch on them. It's not really relevant. You can find that out as the campaign goes on. The last thing that we want to touch on is the elves. We have an elf in our party. So that I explained all of Arca basically. The other continent that we didn't talk about yet is Eliquan. Eliquan is north, the northern continent, and that is the home of all the elves. They kind of seclude themselves to this continent, and it's very industrialized. If you can think of like the 5 boroughs of New York, think of that, but as a continent sized. It's like, it's
Dang.
huge. There's cities everywhere. The whole thing is basically a city, and they're skyscraper. It's very industrialized. Out of all these cities, the biggest and most important city is called Yentel. That's what houses the
Yantel.
Yentel, Yantal.
Now, do we have an idea of what the population is of these continents?
Yes, you do. I'll get that in just one second. Yentel.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, make an investigation check, Chris. Roll high. But Yentel houses the High Council. So I won't go into too much detail because it's not prevalent to the campaign. But basically, the way the elves and Eliquan rule is they have a High Council of 4 members. They all have to agree on an issue in order to extract that decree, whatever it may be. So the way that works is every city has what's called a baron. It's a spokesperson for their own city. They'll go to the 4th member of the council. If it's an issue that they can't solve, it's above their head, they'll go bring it to the 4th member. If the 4th member can't solve it, he brings it to the council. And so then the council has to agree on that issue, all 4 members, and then it extracts that order, whatever that may be.
And who's the 4th member?
Dilion is the 4th member. Again, our campaign takes place in Arca, not that you can't travel there or whatever, but I'm going to try to keep it brief.
Okay.
So the biggest event that we need to understand with Eliquan is 400 years ago. Now, elves live like well past 700 years. So this is still fresh in the mind of most elves, whereas humans, this is like way ancient history. But so 400 years ago, there was an event called the Great Purge, where all the council members agreed on this verdict, which was to basically commit genocide or push out all of the elves that can't use magic, that are half elves and or dark elves. Anything that basically any elf that is not a high elf, because they looked at the high elves as pure bloods, and the other races were kind of infecting that pure blood high elf race. So they did this purge to just make it so one pure, high elf race. And many of the other races of elves died, but many of them escaped to Arca. And the majority of those elves that escaped to Arca live in the Empire of Mulian. But that is, I guess, the biggest event. So in this world, again, this is different than D&D, but in this world, half elves were born that way. They're, just like people are born different, it's in their genes. So it could skip generations, it could, do whatever, but
They could just be born a half elf.
yeah, they could just be born a half elf. And the distinction between the wood elves in my world is they can't use magic. They look just like elves, but they're born with the inability to use magic. So they're looked at as half elves as well, because they're half of an elf. It's like a derogatory term, So that's an explanation I think is valid for the campaign to understand the relationships between them.
Okay.
And I think that, and then the 3rd continent is a mysterious continent. Basically, the deal with that is no one's ever really traveled there. The people who have never returned. So either it doesn't exist, or it's extremely dangerous, and therefore no one should go there. So the 3rd continent is widely, fabricated stories, and a lot of people don't believe it exists. Some people do. but it's important to know
Almost.
that it's
Almost like a myth.
It's
Almost
a tall tale.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There are two entities in this world. There, which does play a pretty big role. Let me just. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so the dark entity is Devfor, Devphor, Devfor. The dark elves chose to worship Devfor, and in so doing, it corrupted their magic. Aesthetically, they look different. They basically got corrupted by this, and so their magic is different than the high elves, and they're easily identifiable because of that. The other entity is Yawan, Yawan.
And that's the light.
That's the light entity. So one is the entity of basically destruction, deceit, death, corruption, and all that kind of stuff. The other entity, Yawan, is the exact opposite, the antithesis. They're basically antithesis of yin yang,
Yin
basically. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome. That's so cool.
So that is relevant because you will see temples, you will see and magic in this world is different aspects of that entity. So the fire entity would be how fire from Yawan would give life in the sense where sustain life and all that kind of. So there are different aspects of that one entity. Same thing with the dark entity.
Depends on how you use it. If you use
Exactly.
it for a campfire,
Yeah.
you're trying to survive. If you use it to destroy,
Mhm.
you're trying to kill. Gotcha.
So so that's that. That's a quick rundown of the generic state of where we're at. So what I want to do now is let you guys talk a little bit about your characters. We'll actually start with Dakota at the end. Tell us about your character.
My character is a high elf wizard named Feynman Farhorn. I am 470 years old, so I fought in the Purge. And, alongside of my father and the rest of the high elves. So, I'm from the village of Farhorn, which is my last name, where my family has been a baron in Farhorn for many, many, many generations, pretty much the whole history of my village. So the gist of my backstory is my father, who was the baron of our time, has caught wind of dark elves who have now come to what he believes destroy our village. So he, along with a group of his closest warriors, have gone in search of these dark elves. And no one has seen them since. And so now, being the next in line, I have become the Baron. And I hear also, some time passes, probably, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that the same group of dark elves has now come to try to destroy our village. I hear where they are. So I am just bound on seeking revenge on these people. So I take a group of my closest warriors and almost make the same mistake my father did in going after them. So I go after them, get far enough away to where I can barely see my village, turn around, and now my village is up in smoke. So myself and the warriors rush back to our village just to find everyone dead. Now, me being the kind of elf that I am very distraught about this.
You're a high elf, right?
I'm a high elf. So I call on Dilion to see what I can do, who is the council,
The fourth member.
the fourth member of the council, to see what I can do. And he pushes me out, basically. So now I am on a mission to regain my reputation, regain the respect that I had, and the respect really of my family, because they're disgraced now. So I have heard of a mission that I can go on, which is why I am traveling to Arca.
Very cool.
All right. Awesome. My character is a dark dwarf barbarian. His name is Glastavin Brubo. He is the son of Glastavin, or Glastavin. That's the same thing. I can't, it's because I spelled it weird, but Glastavin Brubo, he's a son, and he's supposed to be the next leader in his clan. Right before he's about to be named leader of his new clan, he gets an invitation from his uncle to have drinks. You know, oh, we're gonna celebrate, you know, your big day tomorrow. Glastavin loves his uncle, and you know, he's like, yeah, you know, why not? So they go to have drinks, and what ends up happening is he takes a undetectable drug and slips it in Glastavin's drink and tries to kill him. It was supposed to kill him. I know, jerk uncle. It was supposed to kill him, and it didn't. When he woke up, all he saw was his entire village just burnt to ashes. No dwarves were found. Everyone was gone, and all you could see was just embers on half torn down buildings.
Shonen animes right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seeing this, he blacks out, and when he wakes up on top of his dead uncle, and that's all he knows. That's all he knows. He just wakes up and he's on top of his dead uncle, and he needs now. His goal is to rebuild his village, and just pretty much start over so that he can, because he's a dark dwarf elf, to continue with this technology. But he needs a team. He needs a family. He needs a village. He needs money. So he needs to go to Arca for anything that he can do, any traveling, any bounties that he needs, assassinations, anything that he can do to get his hand on some gold. I should have mentioned this first, but I didn't. He is 5 foot, 350 pounds, and he's 257 years old. He was supposed to be named leader at 200, but stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
You know, stuff happens.
We'll get resolved, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
All right. And Chris?
Okay, so basically my character is a dragonborn. He's in the cleric class.
What's his name?
And his name is Lartic. Lartic Rays.
So cool. It's still so cool. I love the last name.
I tried, you know.
It's just so cool.
You did good.
Yeah.
Basically, he's from Dragonborns. They like to travel in clans and be in groups together. You know, not really for my character. Not really to hurt or kill people. Just that's what we do. You know, and something happened. You know, his memory is very faint on it though. We're traveling and something just caused us to black out. Like we don't know what happened really. And from there, we basically ended up in Arca, and from there, that's basically what the story was.
Dang, talk about mystery. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's very cool. Okay. So, I mean, basically, one last piece of information as far as the scale of Arca is there's a lot of wilds in Arca. There's a lot of, the province of the kingdoms. There's a lot in between. So there's a lot of... monster, so
It's like a big forest, like a lot of forests.
forest, wasteland, swamp, there's a lot of undiscovered or unoccupied.
You talk about continents, like
Yeah,
very
exactly.
huge.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it's
So there's
important
a lot
to,
to- Gotcha.
So the distance between one kingdom to the next kingdom could be like a week's journey,
Yeah.
of traveling to the next kingdom. But that's awesome characters. They're all great.
Should we tell how we know each other?
Oh yeah.
Well, you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So if I mess up, just let me know
Alright.
because we made this up kind of on the spot, which I thought was so cool. But pretty much what had happened was I was looking for gold, so I saw a wanted ad for a werebear. I saw that that there was a big money prize, so I was like, let me try doing this. To make a very long story short, I pretty much kill the werebear. As I'm fighting it and pretty much just cutting off his head, I'm bringing it back to, the person who owns the ad. And he sees me.
Which is where I come.
Yeah, that's where he comes in. He sees me, and he saw... you saw the fight, right? Is that
I
what
didn't
you-
see the fight,
You
I'm
just
coming off of the boat from Eliquan now to Arca. I'm walking to the village or the city where we're starting, where I hear about this campaign or this mission.
Yeah.
And I just see this little short, round dwarf just carrying the head of this gigantic bear. And I'm like, now hang on a second. I gotta, if I'm gonna get this money, build up my reputation, I'm gonna need a bodyguard. And if this little scrawny thing is carrying
like
the head of a
the size
bear,
of me, pretty
I'm
much.
like, yeah, I gotta get this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So he pretty much hires me. We talk. We have conversation. Dwarves don't normally like elves or trust them, but you know he seemed to have money, and that's what I was after. So he hires me as his bodyguard. As a dwarf, I'm very loyal. Period. So I'm loyal to him, and I may not like him or trust him, but he's paying me money. So we go together, and we see that we both can make money off of where we're gonna start the adventure. And then again, he's also giving me a cut of what he gets paid for the cargo as well. So for me, that's a lot of initiative. That's 3 incomes, as opposed I started with nothing. I'm just starting this and 3 incomes right away. So I was definitely inclined to do all of this, and that's pretty much how it
Yeah,
went.
I forgot to mention one thing about my character. Can I add it in there?
Definitely.
You can do it.
He's an adult, so about 20 years old.
Okay.
Give or take. And I forgot to mention earlier in his past, he doesn't know who did it, but his parents were killed.
Okay.
His entire family.
Ooh,
So,
tragedy all
so
around.
much
So he,
mystery.
I know, right?
he doesn't remember anything that happened with
so
with
bad.
the journey of the clan, but he knows that about his past still, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing he's going to be trying to find out. along the way.
Okay.
That's
That
awesome.
happened.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
I forgot to mention that.
Let's see if
Wow,
your tragic heroes
so
can
good.
turn this around.
all right, let's get off.
You guys
the
ready
sad
for,
train.
Dude,
the
seriously,
campaign?
do it.
Ready?
The question is, are they though?
No.
Because
They
because
stopped-
we're definitely
they-
we're
they
definitely
stopped
not.
watching. Oh,
Yeah, they clicked out. Oh, jeez.
All right. So,
Stupid dwarf.
so we're gonna start the campaign,
All right.
and the campaign starts in Arca.
All right.
Now it's at the dead of night. Okay, it's the wind is whistling around. But you are finding yourselves in the kingdom of Fort Dale. So you actually see the castle. You're at the gates of the castle, and before you there are 2 guards that are commissioning you for this task. So what you see around you again is the castles, the gates. There's torches. It's pitch black at night, but you guys can see in the dark.
Yeah, I know I can. I have.
I don't think you can. You don't have like the okay.
So we're a group right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
we're like
you're
a
a
team
party.
already. So obviously we'll
yeah.
help
We'll
him
tell
out.
you what happens.
Pretty much. Yeah. I'll tell you.
We'll tell you what happens.
How many fingers is he holding out?
Hold my hand. Let's go. Dragonborn.
So that's where all this starts to give you the setting. So I'm gonna RP this.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
So you are the party that is gonna take this cargo to Pygot.
Yes, of course.
The guard speaking to you has like a gash down his throat. Like he is like a not good. I should have prefaced everything with this.
Okay.
He's got a gash on his arm is all like beaten. So when he speaks, he's like is raspy and he's like pauses between his words because he can't really utter words. He's like in a horrible shape, but you know he's been through crazy times during I would assume the war.
Yeah.
And he came out alive.
Okay, so
this
these are
guy's-
just scars. These are just.
Yes.
It's not like he's
Oh,
like
no,
bleeding and he's
just-
walking around like.
So you guys are
We're guarding. We haven't fully healed yet.
Yeah,
but-
no, these are scars, but there's like gaping, like it's intense.
Oh,
open
okay.
Scars. You are the party that's taking this to Pygot.
We were sent here. Yes, this is our mission.
Are you a dragonborn?
Yes, I am. And everyone always asks me that, but I am, yeah.
Why does it matter if he's dragonborn if we're here sent to do a mission?
Why does it matter? You tell me if you see armies of dragonborn taking your village, burning your people. Why does it matter? Filthy dragonborn aren't allowed here, let alone trust them to carry cargo to Pygot.
Well, you see, my good man, this fellow has been following us for some time now, and he seems fine with us.
Where are you from? You're not a wood elf.
No, not a wood elf. I'm a high elf, my friend.
From Eliquan?
From Eliquan. Yes?
What are you doing in Arca?
Well, I have come here to help you with your problem.
And what is wrong with you? No, we're looking dwarf. I've never seen the likes of you. What is wrong with everything?
Our appearance has nothing to do with our mission. Step aside, let us pass.
See, at this point, he turns to the other guard, and they kind of step away a few feet and kind of whisper and murmur to each other.
Okay.
What it is they're saying.
I don't know. It's
Wait, you
really,
know about my family and what happened with the Dragonborn?
What did you say?
You mentioned something about how we caused trouble and fire.
You
Like, what does that have to do with me?
you
Just let
destroyed my town.
Let it down.
Just let it
Just
go.
let it go.
Let it go.
Don't. We got you.
Alright.
At this moment, you hear a voice from behind the guard. What seems to be the problem?
There is no problem here, my friend.
There's
Move
no
aside, move aside. And so the guards kind of, as he passes the voice, you see him, he kind of bumps shoulders with the guard that was with the raspy voice, the guy. And he's a cloaked figure. He has a hood on. He's significantly smaller than the guard, but he seems to be having authority over him.
Okay.
And so it says, "Are you the party?"
Yes, we've been here and being questioned by guards for no reason. We've been hired to do job, and we cannot do it because of these guards.
I don't understand. If he looks at you, completely puzzled to see a elf, a dwarf, and a dragonborn together in a party. He looks at the guard. Are you sure this is them?
I don't trust them. I don't think you should let them go with the precious cargo. But we're all running out of time. Pygot cannot wait. It needs to leave tonight.
Where's it heading to?
Pygot! It's going to Pygot!
Okay.
Might I
What is
ask?
wrong with you?
Might I ask, sir, what is it exactly that we are transporting here?
You can't ask. There's crates
Well,
in this cab. There's crates. You cannot open these if they are compromised in any way before they go to Pygot. Not only will you not receive the reward, but you will be executed.
What is the reward?
150 gold for each of you.
I want to do a perception check on that.
Okay. You want to see his line? Perception check. Our first check, guys.
Yeah, let's go!
Oh,
Coming
boy.
out here!
It's a 9.
It's a 9. Do you add anything to that?
What would I add?
That's a 6.
Oh, it's 6. Yeah.
We don't cheat, okay? But no, I'm just kidding.
It's your wisdom. It's your
Okay, thank you,
wisdom score.
So add your
So
wisdom.
it would be a 9.
Be a 9.
Probably wouldn't be enough. I would assume.
Okay, you could tell a few things. You could tell that he's being 100% honest. I'll just tell you could tell there's no reason to not believe that you will receive gold from delivering this cargo to Pygot. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you think, guys? We should do it, you think?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
yes.
Absolutely.
What? You're the one that came here to do it.
Then it's a good deal then.
Okay. Okay.
Would you just step aside so that we can do our job? We're running out of time. Clearly, you're running out of time. You're wasting our time. We can find better jobs somewhere else. If you do not want us, we can go.
No. Okay.
And as you settle this, the smaller guard that's cloaked says, "Not without me. I'm going with you, because I don't really trust you. Deal or no deal?"
As long as you don't get in our way, is that fine?
That's one of
No, I need this cargo to Pygot immediately. Immediately.
So you will be on our team. You're just watching over us. So you will help us in any quest. You
I
won't
will
be
help you
against us.
deliver the
You-
cargo.
You're for us, not against us.
To deliver the cargo.
What's in it for you, though?
To
What do you
make
want?
sure it's safe.
So
You know,
it's,
you know-
It's Dragonborn?
it's
No,
just
I-
that you just don't trust us. That's it.
Absolutely.
That sounds kind of suspicious to me.
I can live with that.
You,
I
you're
can
fine.
live with
You're
that.
fine. Okay.
That's
All
fine.
right.
We're running out of time.
We're running out of time. Let's
Alright,
make decision now. Let's go now.
Okay, So you guys, you agree to move the cargo from the Fort Dale to Pygot.
Yeah.
Travel cost is all paid for. This is commissioned by the prince himself. So this is coming from basically the highest, to move this. So whatever's in these crates are extremely valuable. That is something that you all can understand from the gravity of the situation here. But you don't know what it is. So you all board, and the way it's laid out is you have 2 horses, you have the carriage with all the cargo, and you all on the back of the carriage, and the driver, obviously.
So we're just sitting on top of, I guess, the cargo or a different
there's
seat?
there's like a bench or whatever in the carriage section of it.
Okay, so like bench and then cargo behind us.
Yeah, exactly.
Horses in front.
Mhm.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Trying to paint an image.
You're traveling along, and the hooded knight is just in the corner. He doesn't say a word to you guys. He's just staring at all of you 3.
Just because he doesn't trust us.
Yeah. He's
So we're
watching
just
you guys.
moving along.
So just move along. You guys can ask.
I want to ask the man,
What man?
the cloaked figure,
Okay.
the cloaked
Knight.
halfling. He kind of sent. No, he's not
Oh,
a halfling.
no.
He's just a short
he's,
fella.
Yeah, he's shorter
Okay.
than the guard.
I want to ask the short feller. So, my friend, what is your story?
I'm not here to entertain you.
I'm just trying to make friendly conversation.
Just make sure the cargo is transferred to Pygot.
This guy's got an attitude,
So
my friend.
ridiculous. I don't know. I had to be babysat by some short knight. So he calls
I'll
himself.
have you know, and as now he's getting offended. As he sits up on his chair, and you see the cloak. He's still hooded, but his cloak kind of falls to the side a bit, and you see 2 blades coming from his side, the hilt of the blades, and you notice that the 2 hilts they don't match, they're different, but they are custom made. So they have a gem on the very end of it that is like flowing almost, like there's like something inside the gem is like moving around.
It's like a mystical,
Yeah,
magical,
yeah,
enchanted gem,
You don't know what it is,
but it's something.
but as he's like leaning into you, you happen to notice that's coming out, and both swords are very different, but they're very unique and custom made. It seems like, and so he says, "How many men have you killed?"
I've killed more than I could even remember or count.
Takes out one of his blades and puts it to you, and says, "This blade can slice through bone like butter. Don't mess with me." Then he puts his blade back.
You think I fear you? I do not fear you. I'm here to do one job. We come to do our job. You babysit us. You're paying us your gold. And then you have your king pay you gold to watch us do one simple job. How
Simple.
precious is this cargo to you?
This cargo is everything. If this
Why is it
cargo
everything now?
If this cargo doesn't make it to Pygot, Fort Dale might fall. So if Fort Dale falls, the other kingdoms will follow.
I'm doing
And
a perception
Arca.
check for that.
Okay. It's everything.
14.
14. So you know
Plus 3, so 17.
so you know everything's saying true.
We have a
So-
genius on our hands. A genius. Dragonborn for
I can read
life.
my link book and you're telling the truth. I can
Yeah.
tell. Alright.
Of course I'm telling the truth, Dragonborn.
Okay.
If this cargo doesn't make it to Pygot, Arca falls. The responsibility is on your shoulders. So I suggest you take this seriously. And then he puts back in his chair and just stares at you guys.
So I am kind of tired of hearing everyone speaking. So I think I'm just gonna lay back here and take a little nap.
You're gonna take a
I'm gonna
nap?
take a
I
nap.
can take some.
So elves, just so they go in
We
trance.
yeah.
Okay, so you're fully aware of what's going
Yeah.
around.
That's
Okay.
sick.
So you guys aren't gonna mess with the crates.
No,
Okay.
not with that. little
While he's
fella
watching us, yeah, no,
As soon as he turns his head,
I think we should at
I'm
least.
cracking that baby.
We should definitely like pull some stealth abilities out and like really be careful because we don't want to fight with this guy because we don't know him either. So
Okay, so you're just gonna travel. So the way it is there's a off the beaten path kind of thing. There's a trail It's not obviously not paved. It's through this dark forest because it's not nighttime. So the forest is very dense. But there is a trail that this carriage is going through. It's very bumpy, but there's trees all over the place. And you're heading towards Pygot, which will take you a good 2 days journey to get there. And again, this is all within the province of Fort Dale. But to get to that city, it's going to be about 2 days. So you guys are just traveling, and you're going to go in trance. You're going to go rest. You guys plan on doing anything?
Well, I definitely want to stay because my character Glasdovin, he takes every job he does seriously, very seriously, almost too seriously.
Okay.
So he definitely wants to stay on guard.
Okay.
For the most part, he wants to be looking around visually because he has the night vision as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's in trance.
How far can you see at night?
65 feet.
65 feet. Okay.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's 65
Yeah.
feet. Yeah, it's
No, I think you're right.
yeah. I mean, I can double check really quick in a second.
And I can
And
see.
since I can fight and I can heal, I might as well stay with him.
Oh, I'm sorry, up to 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay.
So yeah, that matters. So
So yeah, I'll stay with you. We'll keep looking.
yeah.
So you guys are going to stay vigilant. You're going in trance, which you still. What's your passive perception?
Semi-conscious. Passive perception.
Or what is your perception?
My perception +3.
Okay. What is that check actually? What is
A perception check?
what do you use for that? Is it intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your
No, it's
intelligence?
wisdom.
Oh, it's wisdom. What's your wisdom?
Wisdom's +1.
No, like
12.
it's 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think passive. I think is basically that. Correct us.
Yeah.
Amateurs.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments, yeah. Get better, please.
This is so painful.
Yeah.
And then smash that like button.
Don't forget to smash that like button. I want you to break your keyboard.
And subscribe to our channel.
And subscribe.
Yeah.
No.
But smash the like button.
sorry.
Yeah, smash it first.
That's right.
That was awesome. Dude. I'm
Um,
glad you said that. That was awesome.
We're gonna say that your passive perception is gonna be what your normal wisdom is, so 12.
Okay.
And what's your wisdom?
My wisdom is 16 +3.
Awesome.
Okay, so just passive, we'll say 16. And what's your wisdom?
Mine's 17.
Right here is
Dang.
what?
+3.
Okay.
Passive perception, we're going to say it's the same, so 60.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I know that's not right.
I'll look it up.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can look that up. So, as you guys are traveling, as you're in your trance, about an hour goes by. And are you guys making conversation during this hour?
Oh no.
Okay, just kind of keep quiet.
We kind of keep quiet.
Looking around.
Just kind of like whispering little things here and there. If we think maybe there's a squirrel and we're just like on guard, squirrel. But then it's like, all right, it's just a squirrel.
Okay.
We're just very. That's about it.
So you know what?
No
I'm gonna have you
conversation.
both make a perception check.
Okay.
Both of you guys. So roll a d20 and then add your wisdom.
Really should keep these out.
That's 9, and then +3, so that's 12.
12.
11 plus you said wisdom.
Yeah.
Is that +3 or the 16?
No,
+3.
it's
+3.
plus
So
11
14.
+6.
Yeah. Right.
so you have 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so you notice a flock of birds as you guys are traveling just shoot up in the sky, calling and leaving, and then you notice dead silent, not a sound, no animals, no nothing.
Okay.
And so because you rolled, make a dexterity check. I'm going to give you advantage on this. So roll d20
Okay.
and then add your dexterity modifier to that. And I'm gonna
+2.
see how I'm gonna let you know how this whole plays.
Okay.
out.
20.
Dude, okay. So,
Nat
Nat
20.
20, our first Nat 20.
Yeah!
Let us go, Gustavo Brumo!
That is Nat 20. Please
Happy
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good.
Here we go.
Congrats on the Nat 20.
Nat 20!
So what? Let me explain what happens now. You saw the birds flying away, then you heard dead silence. So you know something's up. Something scared those birds away. Something unnatural is in the woods, and you've been vigilant this whole time. So you know something's about to go down right now.
How long have we been going since those birds?
An hour.
An hour.
Oh, since the birds
Since
flew.
the bird. Well,
Just like
from
immediately.
the time we were resting or looking until the birds flew.
Oh, yeah. You've been traveling for an hour,
Okay.
and then at this point you see the birds fly, and all this stuff goes down. And so because you rolled a nat 20, so what happens is not only do you notice all this stuff, but you dive, you take Lartic and a Feynman, and you just bring them down, and 3 arrows shoot right past you, and completely past you, and now you're under attack. So we're gonna roll for initiative.
First initiative.
First
roll.
initiative, guys.
Yeah. Woo!
All right, so we're gonna roll a d20.
The 20 now.
Oh,
What did you get?
I'm not telling you what I got, but
Tell me what you got.
let me
Roll
just,
once, Chris.
roll
Roll once, Chris.
What was your first roll? 4. Okay.
You can't roll a million times.
Hi now.
All right, so you got a 4,
I got a 10.
15.
10, 15. Okay, easy. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm going first. Actually, hold on.
The 1 and a 20. Again.
Oh, no.
Listen, I've been rolling bad all day, but now I'm rolling
It is
really
Come
good.
on.
Okay,
You can
so
see his
I'm going.
face.
Alright.
I'm going first.
Leave it
And-
on the dice.
So what is going to happen is I'm going to roll to hit. I'm Chris. You have a Dragonborn here. Okay, so that's 10 plus. So I got a 14. What's your armor class?
My armor class 11.
11. So that's a hit. So an arrow's gonna shot. Now we're gonna see damage now. Sorry guys, I'm just looking this up real quick.
It's okay, we'll just add it.
Now the cart is open, correct? It's
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
kind of like an open trailer with the cargo behind us, and we're on a bench, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
alright,
Yeah.
okay.
Think of like a hayride. You know, you're on
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's what
kinda
I'm
like
picturing. with-
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much damage do I take?
You take. How many hit points do you have?
That's a good question, actually. Because, it's about 6.
You have 6 hit points. That's not right.
Yeah, it is.
How is that?
We missed Lartic!
How is that?
Oh no, man! What?
There's got to be a minimal of with your class as a cleric. So Chris, you're unconscious right now.
Oh my gosh!
You're unconscious right now. Unfortunately, it's not over. I'm rolling again, and I'm rolling for Glostavin.
Come on, man, just lie to us.
So sorry.
Alright.
So I'm rolling for damage. It's a hit. Wait, what is your armor class, by the way? It's definitely a hit, but
14.
14. Okay. Okay, this time,
Yeah, I like to.
that's 5 damage that you're gonna take.
Okay, so I have 13 hit points, so now it's, well, for now it's, 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just.
How much damage did that attack deal me?
I did 8 damage to you.
Really?
And last arrow is going to.
Wow. So
But even with my dexterity thing, with my dexterity and my
That was for the
Oh, that was
initial.
something different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the initial. Okay. So what's your armor class?
12.
Okay, so that's another hit.
God.
What the heck were we even fighting? Like,
Yeah,
what
right?
We're all
attacking
freaking
us?
dead. We're
5
dead.
damage.
We're being bombarded by dragonborns and tieflings. It's the
All
hellfire.
right. So now I'm done. Now it's Dakota's turn.
It's about dirt.
Yeah, seriously, bro.
I would
Jeez.
like to. I want to see what's out there.
Okay. Well, you have dark vision.
Yeah, I do have dark vision. So can I see what it
How
is?
far does your stretch?
60 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you could see in night. So
Right. So what am I looking at?
do a perception check.
16.
Perfect. So yeah, you see everything clearly.
Okay.
You see 3 archers in the trees with their bows, shooting at you. They're 30 feet distance from you, but they're up top.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And I'm sorry, it's to your left. So the trail is going this way. You guys are on the trail. it's to your left. They're up there shooting
Oh,
down
okay.
at
So
you.
I got shot over here.
So what is the state of the cloaked man?
He's like alerted,
So he's not like
He's not even
freaking
hit.
out. He's kind of just
No.
chill.
but he doesn't see what you see.
He doesn't see what I see. So I want to convey the information that I now know
Okay.
to the remaining party who is not unconscious.
Could I ask a question too here, or is it this?
Can we send a message over to the guy in the cloak? Sorry, no.
Well, you're
Also,
unconscious.
we got
I
hit,
know. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
but does that affect him being hit? Like just because we rolled and got hit,
Mm.
did he get hit too?
Who? The guy?
The guy, yeah. Does he
Actually,
look
I'm
like
so
he's being
sorry.
targeted?
You know what? I have to roll him into the initiative.
Okay.
I'm
So
so
go
I
ahead.
totally
Okay.
forgot. Okay. So I'm sorry. Before you go, Dakota,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for the cloak guy.
Perfect.
Okay. So the problem is with him though. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, well, he's waking up. He sees
So I have
you
conveyed
unconscious.
the
He
information.
sees you two hit. So he knows that they're under attack. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna jump out of the cart, and he knows that the arrows are coming from this way. So he's kind of in cover, like
behind the cargo.
behind the
That
cargo,
little slot.
looking back to see if he can figure out what's going on. So I'm gonna roll a
Okay.
perception check
Yeah.
for
Okay.
him to see
Okay.
if he can target the three people.
Okay. Got answered. Answered the question.
Okay. And he does not know where they are.
Okay.
So he's, I'll repeat this. He jumps down through the cargo, pulls out his two swords, and he says, "Can you see where they're going? Where they at?"
Okay. So now it's my turn.
Yeah.
I made the perception check. I don't have to make it again, right?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna convey the information. I'm gonna say there are 2 up to the left, 3 in the trees to the left of us.
Oh, I think I see him.
Okay. So now I'm going to. I can do if I do an action, does that take away my movement?
No, you can move and do an action.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to use magic missile.
Ooh.
Magic missile.
Ooh.
And
Dang.
so I roll to see if it hits, right?
Yes.
That's
Get him, Elf, get him!
that's an 8 plus 3, 11 plus 5, 16.
That's a hit.
Okay. So I want
No, wait. You're rolling against
their AC.
their AC. Yeah. So that's definitely a hit.
Okay. So I aim 1 at each of them. So it's going to be kind of like a pew pew pew.
Okay. Bam, bam, bam.
Bam
Okay.
bam bam.
All right.
And a pew pew pew. And a pew pew
Pop,
pew.
pop, 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 pop. Grrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr
So the first one takes 4.
Okay.
Second one takes 3. And the third one takes 3.
All right. Let me just.
For lucky, for dice.
Yeah, right?
Also, I mean, just so you know, you guys can try to bring him back from being unconscious. The way you do that
Right.
is by medicine checks.
Medicine
It's
check.
charisma, I believe.
Crap. I have to roll high.
I'm pretty sure.
It's wisdom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
Wisdom.
wisdom.
I can
right.
also do a save throw, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
wisdom.
well, on your turn, you will do a save throw. If you are successful 3 times, you're back with 1 HP. If you're unsuccessful, you outright die. So
I have to be successful 3 times in a row, you telling me?
3,
Yeah,
on
3
your
times.
turn. Yeah, so you roll once per turn.
And then, like, on your turn, you can do a medicine check on him to see if you stabilize him. And
Yeah,
if you
that's
do,
what I
he
wanna
comes to 1. So my turn's not over yet. I want to, after I've shot them, do they fall out of the tree or anything
Okay.
like that?
Let me just do one quick thing. The one who you did 4 damage to,
Mm-hmm.
he falls out and he's prone.
Okay, that's the first one.
The first one. So
Okay.
Thug 1.
Thug 1, Thug 2, and Thug 3.
Thing 1, thing 2. Oh my gosh.
That's
So,
awesome.
so Thug 1, I'm going to convey. Thug 1 is out of the tree. He's fallen on his face. Out
So,
of the tree.
and actually I'm going to do falling damage.
Ooh, I like this. And now since he's prone, we have advantage.
Yeah, so if you want to attack Thug 1, All right.
So Bug One's not dead. He's not dead. He's
No.
just down.
Yeah, he's prone. So that's a total of 7 damage
Nice.
that you did to Thug 1.
And now I am down to.
Let me just.
One first level.
All right. So he. Okay. So you end your turn.
No.
Okay.
Now I want to jump out of the cart and get on the opposite side undercover.
Okay. So are you with the cloaked knight?
Yeah, if that's where he's at,
Yeah,
like
I'll be-
on cover,
Uh huh.
I want to be there with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just so you know, when you're in cover, it's not disadvantage for them. They just can't hit you when you're in full cover, which is what.
So he's in full cover.
So we're
Yeah.
in full cover.
Yeah, you're in
okay.
full cover.
You're
Me and
So-
the cloaked guy.
in the cloaked guy. So it's my turn.
That's your turn now.
Okay, so I want to what is it called? LP?
RP.
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 Amateurs.
Amateur hour. We should get a bell. Ding! Amateur hour. That's next.
I'm gonna get a bell.
Yeah, we're gonna get a
I'm gonna get a bell.
bell. So I just wanted to RP real quick.
Yeah.
Are you alright, Alf? Are you okay? Are you safe? You're safe?
I'm fine, my friend. I just have an arrow in my chest.
Alright, but you're under.
under attack. What are you doing?
No, this is quick. This is like a quick thing.
I know.
It's like,
I'm the
But you're safe, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
so I take out my arrow. It's been shot in my shoulder.
Nice.
And I'm like, and I get mad. I'm like, "Ugh," I rip it out. "Ugh." And now I go to make a medicine check because I think to myself, 3 of us, or 4, I guess, with the
Yeah.
are better than 3, 2, whatever. If you're counting the ninth guy. Yeah. So then I want to do a medicine check.
Okay.
Is that a D20?
Yes, and you're gonna add your wisdom.
My wisdom modifier.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I'm getting the hang of this, even though I'm an amateur. Boom! 18 plus 3.
So
Thank goodness,
That's gotta
21.
be enough.
that's definitely.
Oh, thank God.
So-
Wait,
Does that bring you back to
No,
1
no.
HP?
That brings him to 1.
Okay, so you have 1 HP. So you're alive.
So I just punch him in his face. Oh, you up?
No, wait. Oh, my
And
turn.
now-
Can I heal myself? Is it
Yes.
possible?
Yeah, well you're a cleric, so you use one of your spells.
So can I just make up? Can I RP? Roll
Yeah.
back. Can I RP a way to bring him back? Is
Of
that
course.
every time or?
You don't have to. I mean, you could just
I
You
want
actually
to.
can.
I kind of want to.
Thank you, I
Okay.
needed that.
So I grab him from like his clothing, whatever. I'm like, are you? Wake up! And I smack him in his face. That's how I wake him up.
I'm gonna roll for
Wake up! We're under attack! I
roll for
smack him.
damage.
No, I just smack. Not really
And
that
kill
hard.
him
No, I don't
again.
get. I break his neck. I snap his neck. I say,
Outright dead.
no, just to wake him up. I'm like, we're under attack, and I slap him
Just
to wake
like
him up. Just enough to wake him.
Okay. All right, and
Now-
so
now you
you
still
can
have a
move.
movement.
You have your movement now.
Now I have movement.
So you
So-
can move as far as your speed is, which is I think
30,
what, 30,
25.
25?
You're all
Okay.
staying near me so you can protect me.
Is it possible?
Come on.
Is there enough room to grab him and try to pull us both undercover as well?
You already made a
That's not an action. That would still be a movement, but you would have to make a strength check
yeah, okay.
for that. So you're gonna roll
Plus 0.
d20.
Yeah.
See if you're successful in doing that, and
And you compare
add
it
your
against
strength.
his armor class, right?
I think it's just.
This is,
I
that's a
guess
lot.
we could.
so that's pretty low, so you should be able to.
I compare it to his armor.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. D20, baby! It's my night!
Dude, so
It
what
is a-
happens is you just pick him up.
Hold on. First of all,
Oh.
D20!
Thank you for reminding me.
D20.
This is what it's all about,
This is
guys.
priority.
This is what it's all about.
Let's just give me the dance.
Okay, Chris turns out. Okay, so what happens is
Lord
you
Hick.
roll a critical success. You throw him over your shoulder.
Okay.
You hop up with one hand all the way down, and you're successful in doing that.
Boom.
But because there's a benefit that's
Yeah, there's got to be something good happening.
there's gotta be something
There's
good.
got to be something good. Does another one fall out of the tree?
Heart
McDonald's!
So you're successful and bring him strength, and because you do it with such grace, Chris, Lartic just eases down to the ground and is in comfort and gains another health point.
Yeah,
That's
now you
awesome.
have it. So mark that
Right.
down.
So now
That's
you have
awesome.
two. Now you have two. which one arrow
It's
can
about
still
the
kill you,
team.
but you're up to 2.
I know I can do
The other
something.
bonus now is all of you are in full cover,
All
so
right.
they can't hit you from where they're positioned.
Okay.
But the thing is, one guy is prone. On his next turn, he's not going to be prone anymore.
So
So Chris is up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
That's a healing measure.
yeah, I gotta heal myself first.
Yeah.
I think.
you can heal if you have the right spell. You can heal the rest of us too.
What spell do you have?
I
Yeah.
have healing word and inflict wounds. I don't know if healing word does that though. Let me see.
Yeah, well, you got to let us and the viewers know.
Yeah, it says a creature of your choice that you can see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus a spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay, so
So
that
it's only one
I can
person
go full
that can
health.
heal.
yeah.
Oh, no, almost.
So who are you gonna heal?
The
Who are you gonna heal?
Yeah, I got knocked out.
How many hit points do you have?
Or take a
3.
knockout.
Oh
So,
wow.
I
And he
mean,
has 1.
so what did I say it was again?
Oh my god.
I know.
Way to make him overpowered, Vinny.
I didn't anticipate
Come
that.
on, Vinny. Killing me, literally killing me.
Now you guys can get out of
So
this.
1d4
Plus your
plus
wisdom.
wisdom. 3, so then plus 3, so that would be 6. So.
6.
So you
you're-
gain 6, or whoever
Can I go
whoever
over my
you
max?
choose.
You can, right? Because
You
it's
have
not.
temporary HP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could get temporary HP, yeah.
So it'll be 8 then. I'll go up to then.
Okay, so you got 8. Alright.
And I can still
Way to
do
problem solve,
I
everybody.
just saved your freaking life, man. No, I'm just kidding.
So I want
Sorry,
I want to
man.
convey
I want
because
you
I
to hear
don't know
yourself.
since he was unconscious, he didn't hear what
Yeah.
was going on.
Sure.
So I just want to tell Arctic, Arctic, my friend, there are 3. Thug 1, Thug 2, Thug 3.
How far away are they?
I don't know how far away are
They're 30 feet.
30
Well, the
feet.
one that fell probably is now about 20
So the
feet.
carriage just stopped.
So they're anywhere
Yes.
between 25 to 30 feet away, to the left of us.
At this point, the driver of the carriage booked it. He's gone.
That's sorry.
I'm gonna find him and kill him later too.
He's gone.
With my axe.
Can I do an attack or no?
That was your action, is healing.
So then he's next.
So you still have a movement, or
You can move, but right now you're on full cover, so they can't hit you.
or you can
I'll just-
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stay where I am. Like, yeah, we
Okay.
should just stay here, man. It's pretty safe for now until we
Stay
get
here for now until we come up with a plan.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk about a plan?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
actually. I wanted to not entirely separate. I think we should stick together because they're far away. But I know that he
You
uses
gotta repeat
distance.
You gotta repeat this.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And me and more people too. Really? Like, okay.
Okay, we need to stick together. You can do long distance attacks, right?
For something.
For some things. What about you? Can you do long distance attacks?
Yeah, I can also do spells too, and I can inflict a wound.
Okay. Alright, that's awesome. I need you to make them on the ground. If you get them on the ground, I can use a stealth and then chop off their heads with my axe. That is the plan. Do we agree?
We agree.
Okay.
We
Okay.
agree.
So it's now the Cloaked Knight's turn. Now we're in a new turning order now. So the Cloaked Knight, he's filled in the plan. He knows what he's doing, but he notices the guy's still prone on the ground. So he's gonna make an acrobatics check. He's gonna run to the down knight and try to like stab him with one of his blades, and see if he's successful.
Clearly he doesn't listen. That's the only one part of our group. Stupid jerk. Just made a nice plan. Whatever.
Okay, so just makes it okay.
Oh.
So he's successful. He takes out his sword, or he has his sword already drawn. So he hops over the carriage, leaps over to the downed Thug 1, and he goes to do an aerial dive attack with one of his swords. And just so you know, his blade is glowing. It's glowing blue.
Glowing
Glowing
blue.
blue. It's a
Yeah.
lightsaber.
It's a lightsaber.
No, I'm sorry, the hilt. The hilt of his
Oh, the
blade
hilt.
is glowing
Oh,
blue.
okay.
It's not a lightsaber.
So we're gonna roll
It's not a
for-
lightsaber.
It's not a lightsaber. Just the tip is a lightsaber.
Actually, we're gonna roll first to see if he hits,
Or is it the handle?
which he does.
He hits.
He hits.
He hits.
And now we're gonna roll for damage. Guess the right one. No, it's not.
Maybe annoyingly strong.
That's what I'm saying.
Kind of wanted him to not succeed though.
I kind of hoped that he would fall on his face.
Me too.
Okay. So he does 8 damage.
8 damage.
8 damage. Oh, I'm sorry. Plus
I would have done that.
Oh wait.
8 damage plus 2.
Wait, there's more.
10. 10 damage.
He has
He has 10 damage.
All right. I mean,
This guy.
at least he's useful.
I could do more than
Maybe we could do much more of this.
All right.
It's weird.
So yeah. So he goes. He's like, I got this. He goes, runs over,
That's
leaps
awesome.
in the air, puts his sword down so it's facing this way, and just stabs the guy on the ground. And you see lightning just shrivel down the blade.
Oh,
And-
that's
Yeah,
sick,
that's
dude.
right.
That was insane.
So now it's the thug.
that. Is he
Dang, bro.
still alive?
He's hanging in there.
He's hanging,
He's hanging in
in.
there.
Jerk. Tough guy though.
Dang.
It's tough.
So it's Thug One's
Or
turn?
she.
Ooh, I rolled a nat 1.
Woo!
One.
Yeah!
So that's a critical failure.
Critical failure! Critical failure!
Lucky for you guys. So what he does is everything happens so fast. The sword's in him, and before he can even process anything, he tries to grab the cloaked knight, but he pulls himself through the blade,
Oh.
and he just loses his grip and falls back down, and he's dead.
Put up with that.
He's dead.
He's
He's
gone.
dead.
So
I
there's 2
believe
thugs
Something
left.
up
I
with
believe
that.
it.
There's something up with that.
He impaled himself, pretty
Hmm?
much.
Yeah. Again, he slowed down. The thug just pulls himself up, and then just not realizing that there's a blade right through him,
Mm.
he dies. So now it's
I
Thug
believe that.
There's
2's turn, and since the only one he can see, you guys are in cover, is the knight, and he just saw the knight take out one of his thugs. He's going for the knight, and he misses. Miss.
At that point, I yell, "You're a very sucky shot, my friend."
Silence. The third thug is gonna roll. He's gonna go for the knight again.
These guys are hostile, man.
He misses too.
You are also a very sucky shot.
So now it's back to Fireman. Fireman Farhorn.
Alright. I'm going to use my second and last first level spell slot.
Okay.
You said we're within
30.
30.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just look this up real quick. I'm gonna use my wolf killer if I can.
Wolf Killer? That's the name of your stuff?
Wait, that's not the name.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking
It's
about.
gonna do some serious damage because it is a forest.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're in for a big time.
I am going to.
What did the fuck say?
Thug 2, right? We're going after Thug 2.
Thug
Is there
Thug one's
anywhere I can sneak to? Since it is
yeah,
a forest,
Yeah, you could make
Okay.
a stealth check.
I'm going to try and. Is there a tree
Mhm.
within 15 feet
Yes.
that I can
You're
see?
surrounded by trees, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try and sneak to a tree that is 15 feet away to where I can get both where they're in the tree, or I
Okay.
can get both of them.
Okay.
Can I do that?
So just so you know where the layout is, again, you have the carriage here. They were up here, but the path, like there's trees surrounded you, everywhere. So you're over here right now,
Okay.
away from their view. So you could go, in that direction or whatever.
So I'm going to make a stealth check.
Go for it, and you add your dexterity to
Add
that.
my dex. Oof, that is a 4.
Yikes. So they see everything you're doing.
Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm like acting real.
Hey, it's another idiot that was yelling at you.
He's like deer in the lights.
I pretend not to hear him. I'm just like sneaking to where I still get within like 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
you're fine.
That was
Oh my
real,
gosh. So
real
embarrassing.
close. At this point, I want to use Burning Hands, which is a cantrip.
Okay. So
Um,
it's a cone, right?
It's a 15-foot cone.
Okay. So,
so-
you're not only going to be lighting up. Are you aiming?
I'm
up?
aiming like
Okay,
up
okay.
toward them in the trees.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily, like what I'm hoping
Uh-huh.
is it goes up and just catches them in the trees.
Okay.
Okay.
So it'll be out of the distance of the hooded.
Right. For those of you who don't know, Burning Hands is a cantrip that travels in a 15-foot cone. Says, as you hold your hands with thumbs touching and fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoots forth from your outstretched fingertips. Each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity savings throw. A creature takes 3d6 fire damage on a failed save and half as much damage on a successful one.
I'm sorry, what was it?
3d6 fire damage.
3d6. Okay.
The fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. So the trees would catch on fire.
Yes.
So where they are is going to catch on fire too.
Yeah.
So 3d6.
Jeez.
So they do a spell save DC against. They got to do better than a 13
Okay.
against my spell
I have
save
to
DC
roll better
Yeah.
than 13.
for those two.
Okay. So one is unsuccessful.
Okay.
The other one is, they're both unsuccessful.
All right. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, am I adding anything to this?
no.
I don't add my dexterity.
Yes.
They're both still unsuccessful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna take.
Hold on, I did not touch yet.
They're gonna take full 3d6. So that's a 6. That's a 4. That's 10. That's a 3. 13. They both take 13.
13
Dang.
plus
man.
the trees are on fire.
Plus the trees are on fire, so if they stay up there, they're burning.
Dang, man. That was the plan. That was the plan. That's awesome.
So what I do is I'm like, oh, so you think you can just make fun of me, huh? So I go,
trash talk.
You make fun? I will show you the power of the wizard. And I go just like this.
All intimidation completely defeated. So they are jumping out of the trees.
All right.
So they're gonna take, because it's high up there. It's 20 feet up, so they're gonna take every 10 feet. I think is a d6 damage. So let me roll d6, and they're gonna take equivalent. Okay, so they're still alive. They took 5 extra damage.
Wow.
So
So they've both taken 18 damage,
yes.
and they're still alive.
They're tough, but
They
there's
are
3 of us, and one of them's
Okay.
already down.
The thing is, I have to make
wizard.
an acrobatics check to see if they land on their feet.
Okay.
One doesn't, is prone.
Oh, yeah.
The other one does.
Uh,
So Doug with 2, we'll say is prone. Doug 3. Doug 3.
Doug.
Doug.
They're all dogs.
Now we know Doug. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
Doug 1, 2,
Doug,
3.
Does
They're
prone-
triplets.
does prone mean they can't move?
Prone means that they're flat on their back, or they're on the ground.
which
Basically.
means we have advantage.
So if you go attack them, you get to roll twice and pick the better of the 2 rolls.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So one's on their feet, one's on the ground, and that's the end of your turn.
I am my turn.
It's a
yeah.
good roll.
Unless I have more like that I can move, since I only move 15 feet.
Yeah, you can fill out your speed.
Okay, so I have a distance of 30 feet, so I'm going to run back to cover.
Guys, I did it.
Oh my goodness, they did, guys!
well, I ain't going to talk like that. Daddy, if you're watching this,
Oh my god.
I will never talk like that. Yeah, so I'm going to move back to behind
Okay,
cover,
cool.
and I'm going to be like, that's how you do it, my friends. You see? Now it's up to you.
That's awesome, dude.
The
Okay.
arrogance.
Yeah, seriously.
You're up.
Okay, so now I see my plan is working.
No one followed your plan.
What?
No one followed your plan. But
Listen, you know my plan, okay?
Get him out of the tree.
I wanted to get him out of the tree. That was the point.
True.
All right, fine.
You're
well.
right. You're right.
Yeah, that was the point. So now that I wanted them to get out of the tree so that I can go on the ground
Okay.
because I have no distance.
Right. Yeah.
I want to. Oh, can I go up to them?
Yeah.
Do I
What's
have
your
enough?
distance? 25.
25.
Oh
They're-
yeah, and they're
they're
30
20.
feet.
They're 20.
Oh, they're 20.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're
30.
They're 30. So you don't have quite. Well, what weapon are you using?
Axe. I'm proficient in them.
Because they have a 5. Every weapon is 5 foot distance, or some are more.
My
but-
speed is 25.
But
So
your
that's your distance. It's
Oh,
like how
okay.
far
so
you
your
can
weapon.
go.
I'm pretty sure axes are 5. Like
they're an extra 5, so that I just make it like
Yeah, you can
add
So you
to their
get
bodies.
up to
Yeah.
them.
So I get up to them. Okay, so that's what I want to
Do
do.
it for the prone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the one on the ground
Okay.
to reduce the numbers.
So roll for damage. With you're using your axe, obviously.
Yeah,
So I think that's what.
It's +2 proficiency because my proficiency.
Well, no,
proficiency
for
bonus?
your yeah, but you're. Oh no, you're gonna roll
He's
to see if you hit.
proficient in it.
Okay, yeah.
So-
So roll.
So
D20.
roll
Sorry,
D20?
yeah.
No.
Amateurs.
Yeah, amateur. 15.
15 plus 2,
17.
17. That's a hit.
Dang.
So now you're gonna roll for damage.
D20 again.
No.
No.
1d12 I think is your
Sure
axe.
it's not
Yeah,
D12?
that's.
1d12. Yeah.
And you're not in rage mode, right?
No,
No, I don't think I.
not yet. Unless you.
My-
It's
my-
your bonus action, so you can go on rage.
No, it wouldn't make sense to go in rage right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're already weak. Then why would it? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's attack. Yes. 10.
10.
Yes.
Thug 2. Doug is dead.
So what do you do?
So then, I take my axe.
Like, good job.
And I speed, like it's kind of like good job, but you don't even see me. You can't even have time to see me like, whoa. So it's almost like the Flash. You ever see the Flash? He's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll be back. So that's pretty much, I was like, good job. And I take my axe, I have it like on my back, and I jump in the air. Like I pretty much run as fast as I can until I'm like really close.
legs.
So I go, "Ugh, take this scum! And I bash him in half, pretty much right through his chest, as long as the blade
Cavity.
is right through his chest cavity. And I hit the ground. I go, "Huh!" And then I look quickly to the third Doug, and I say, "You're next." And then that's
All right.
pretty
So
much my turn.
wow. Wow, this happened. So now, Chris, you're up. There's 2 Dougs that are dead. There's 1 Doug left.
Doug number 3.
Yeah, alright, so I'm still hiding
Yes.
basically behind. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to make a move towards him, so I'm gonna try to do a sneak attack. So
Okay, so you're gonna roll for stealth. Yeah, stealth.
Alright. 17.
17. You are stealthy. He's
Yeah.
so preoccupied with Gustavin, who just slaughtered Doug 2,
Ripped
that he
him
doesn't
to
even
shreds.
notice that there's a Dragon Ball. He completely forgot.
And now I'm gonna go on the attack now.
Okay,
No,
so you're
He has
okay, so
advantage
you have
'cause he's
advantage
stealthy.
now because he doesn't know. So you're gonna roll. What's your weapon?
A great club,
Great club. Okay, so what's the damage?
and it's a 1d8. So,
1d8 damage. Okay.
So I 1d8, and
No, you roll
No,
to
you
see
roll.
if you hit.
Yeah, roll a
Oh,
d20. See if you hit.
probably not.
Roll again.
Well, you got advantage, so you roll twice.
10. And
10
then
plus.
my wisdom, maybe?
Yeah, plus your
So
wisdom.
13.
Wait, that's
No.
only on a spell.
Yeah,
So
it'd be
flat.
strength.
It'd be strength.
Yeah.
Plus 2.
So
12.
12. That's a hit.
Yeah.
So now you roll for damage.
Alright, let's do it. 7.
7 damage
Uh,
plus. No, just damage, right?
He's proficient in it, so +2.
So
It is plus 2. Okay.
so 9.
So
So
9.
9 damage. He is dead.
Alright.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Doug 3 is dead. Do you want to RP that? Roleplay that?
Yeah. So basically, I went up to him from behind. I'm like, "Hey, you!" Ah, boom!
Oh, so
When
you're
there's me on
alerted.
the club.
Oh,
And he looked
dang!
back and
And
he's
you
like,
just clubbed it right in the head.
yeah, right in the head.
To
No,
the skull.
His head literally just came off,
Oh,
like completely.
please. With
Like
the club.
it was like.
But I'm
chopping-
standing here,
yeah.
so if you cut him in half, then is the blood splattered on me?
Well, it's something that got on you.
Someone got on me, I'm just like,
But you're a warrior now. So
oh, of course. So I'm like,
He's lucky I did not get to him.
So, combat is officially over. All the Dougs are dead.
Yeah!
Good job, guys. You
Yeah.
successfully completed.
we destroyed them.
So, how do you want to proceed?
Well, we want to investigate.
I definitely want to loot the body.
Yes,
Loot the body?
Absolutely.
that's for
Okay.
sure.
I'm gonna loot every
So,
body.
all 3 of you are
Yes.
going to loot the
Yeah.
3 Dougs?
Yes,
Yeah,
because
3
there's something
dogs.
weird about yes.
Okay, so let's go for first Doug. You loot Doug 1, and all you find is this crossbow, which you can take if you like. Anyway, he's wearing leather armor. It's light armor, but nothing jumps out to you. It's just
Just regular.
just regular Doug.
What kind of crossbow?
It's a
Like a heavy or a light
yeah.
or
It is.
Is it a crossbow or an archer?
It's a heavy crossbow.
a heavy crossbow?
It's not one of those gun. Is that?
Well, that's what a crossbow
Oh,
is.
it's not like one of those.
It's
Oh, okay.
I'll teach you how to hunt one day.
Yeah, one day. It's-
So yeah, it's a heavy crossbow, and just he's wearing light armor. Doug 2. We're gonna move over. Anyone wanna? Doug 1. We're good. We're
No,
fast?
he's completely
Okay, so Doug 2.
normal.
You notice, again, nothing stands out. He's got a crossbow, but you see 2 daggers strapped to his side. But as you loot him, you notice that in his pocket he has a note. The note reads, as you pull out, it's torn, but you can make out the majority of what it's saying. The note says, "Capture the prince alive."
Now, I am curious, my friends. Why, if they were going after the prince, would they be attacking us?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
At this point, you hear a voice from the back. "'Cause I am he," and he takes off his cloak, and it's Prince Janus.
And it's the knight.
The knight.
No!
Janus.
No
It's
way.
the knight.
Impossible.
Wow.
See what happens next time?
Oh
On-
my god.
Amateur hour.
Amateur hour D&D edition.